Hey, welcome guys. This is a quick video on today's lesson for 6th and 7th period, okay, or 2nd period if you want to use it as well. Today's learning intention is explaining how the process of diffusion and active transport happen. Okay, and for the check-in today is using I squared. What do you see? What do you think is happening? Right, so in this photo, you see molecules moving from a low number area, so 1, 2, 3, 4, to a high number area of molecules. So that would be active transport. In addition, you see ATP, so that means that it's using energy. The next slide shows us vocabulary words. Okay, so these vocabulary words, diffusion, active transport, and ATP are there for you to use. There's a success criteria. Okay, and this is all on the slides that I'm attaching to this lesson, as well as a rubric to give yourself a rating at the end, so self-assess. All right, an article here. You can click on that link to read the article more in depth on active transport, and that would be your first question on the Google form. Explain in your own words the process of active transport, okay? And it goes over 2 examples in real life. Pond water organisms, how they keep water out of their bodies, as well as plants, how they keep water and minerals inside and absorb water and minerals from outside. Talking about plants have roots, right? So what if the soil is dry? Will the water leave the plant enter the soil? So that's going to be a no, okay? It's going to try and continue to suck in that water and those minerals into the plant, even if there's a high number of water and minerals already inside the plant, all right? And it's going to be using ATP energy for the process of active transport. All right, food coloring, second question. Observations and inferences. How could you get all of the food coloring out of the water and into one spot? So this is different from or the opposite of diffusion, right? Instead of having these molecules spread out naturally, you're going to do the opposite. You want to separate them. So that's going to involve some sort of energy. You can be creative using a filter system, maybe some type of chemical, right, to separate the two. All right, so I know you guys like the good example about smell in the room, right? So like diffusion, smell starts to spread out, right? But in active transport, we want to use the example of what you could do to actually get rid of that smell, right? So you would have to use some sort of energy to contain that smell, get rid of it, either spray it, open the window, or fan it away. Right, and question number 5, okay? There's a quick video on active transport and diffusion. Okay, so in your own words, you're going to explain how diffusion works and then explain how active transport works based on this video. Come on, go to the next slide. Okay, there it goes. Question number 6, which cell is using ATP or energy? So basically it's asking which cell is using active transport, cell A or cell B. So you know that active transport goes from a low number to a high number, right? So if I'm looking at cell A, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a low number, right? And the arrow is pointing from low to high number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So cell A would be showing active transport. Well, cell B will be showing diffusion because it's going from high to low. It's spreading out. All right, and here's your rubric for today and directions for today's activity. If you're going to have a Google form that you're going to have to fill out with today's information, okay? With that being said, I'm going to show you guys a quick lab that I found online. It's right over here. This is a cell membrane, okay? This is outside the cell and inside the cell. So let's say you want to see how oxygen were to go through the cell membrane. So you have oxygen on the outside. And I kind of want to, let me see if I can make this better for me. Sorry about that. Okay, so I have a high number of oxygen molecules outside of the cell, and I have a low number inside, okay? So if this was to model diffusion, where would these oxygen molecules move, okay, if you're using diffusion? Okay, so you're right. It would go from high, from outside, to low, inside. Let's see if it's going to work. Work. Why is it not working? Hold on. Here it goes. There we go. Okay. Start to see the molecules bounce into there. Now, if I were to do carbon dioxide as well, high, right? I have to like make the screen smaller, right? Those carbon dioxide molecules are going to go from a high area to a low. They're going to start to shift over, okay? And I'll put this link inside of today's lesson as well.